When you strip away the fantasy from Jin-Woo's story, what's left isn't magic, destiny, or luck. It's a system. A deliberate, structured approach that transformed the weakest hunter into an unstoppable force. That same system can be applied in reality, without portals, without magic weapons, and without waiting for a miracle. The key is to think like him. Track progress. Build skills deliberately. Manage resources. Adapt quickly. And keep raising your limits. Jin-Woo began at the very bottom. This matters because it proves transformation doesn't need privilege. It needs strategy. His first step was defining progress in measurable terms. In his world, it was EXP points. In ours, it's metrics like push-ups completed, words written, hours studied, or sales closed. Most people sabotage themselves by setting vague goals like get fit or study harder. That's like saying, I want to level up without ever checking your EXP bar. Jin-Woo's way works because every action either moves the meter or it doesn't. Example, if your goal is to get fit, don't just go to the gym. Track the exact weight you lift, the number of reps, the total time spent in training. If your goal is academic, log how many pages you've read, how many problems you solved, or how many mock tests you completed. When you can see your numbers climb, motivation stops being a feeling and becomes proof. Once you know what to measure, you structure your day like a dungeon run. Every run has a start, middle, and end. In Jin-Woo's world, entering a dungeon meant complete focus, no side distractions. Do the same. Example. In the first hour of your day, avoid checking messages or scrolling through social media. Treat it as your entry phase, where you lock onto one high-value task, whether that's writing a chapter, finishing a project draft, or completing a set workout. The middle phase is your grind. 2 to 4 hours of deep, uninterrupted work. If you're studying for an exam, this might mean tackling the hardest subjects first. If you're training for a sport, this is where you push your body to the limit. Finally, the exit phase is review and adjustment, taking 10 to 15 minutes to record what you achieved, spot weaknesses, and set a sharper plan for tomorrow. Skipping this is like leaving a dungeon without collecting the loot. Jin-Woo also built a skill tree where every branch supported the others. In real life, your branches might be technical expertise, communication, problem solving, and physical health. Growth in one strengthens the rest. Example. If you're a programmer, learning public speaking might not seem directly related, but it makes you more valuable in leadership roles, which opens higher-level opportunities that demand new technical mastery. If you're an athlete, learning nutrition and recovery strategies enhances your training results, which improves your overall performance. Build complementary skills deliberately, and you'll advance faster than people who only grind in one lane. Then comes resource management. In his world, it was stamina and mana. In ours, it's time, energy, and attention. Wasting them is the fastest way to stay weak. Example. If you know you do your best creative work in the morning, protect that time from meetings and low-value tasks. If your attention is strongest in 90-minute bursts, schedule your hardest work in those windows and rest strategically. This is the equivalent of using mana potions before a boss fight, not when you're wandering in an empty corridor. Adaptability was one of Jin-Woo's greatest strengths. He didn't enter every fight with the same plan. He observed, learned, and adjusted. In life, rigid routines can turn into traps if they stop producing results. Example, If your study method for math isn't improving your test scores, try active recall or teaching the concept to someone else. If your marketing strategy is plateauing, analyze customer feedback and shift your approach. Adaptation isn't a sign of weakness. It's a survival skill that keeps you moving while others are stuck repeating what no longer works. The next rule: constantly test yourself against higher challenges. Jin-Woo didn't farm low-level enemies forever. He sought harder dungeons. Example: if you've mastered your local running route, sign up for a longer distance race. If you've been comfortable at your job for 2 years, volunteer for a project outside your skill set. If you're gaming your career for EXP, this is like switching from safe beginner quests to elite missions with real rewards and real risk. The pressure forces growth that comfort never will. Jin-Woo's status window let him track every improvement. In real life, your status window is record-keeping. Example: keep a notebook, spreadsheet, or app where you log your progress daily. Your weight, your income, your hours studied, your personal bests. Over months, you'll have an unbroken chain of proof that you are not the same person who started. This record becomes your personal legend, and on the days you feel stuck, it's your undeniable evidence that you're still leveling up. And finally, consistency over drama. Jin-Woo didn't wait for the perfect moment to start. He didn't make his growth into a spectacle. He simply showed up again and again until the gap between who he was and who he became was impossible to ignore. Example: if you're learning a language, don't cram for 5 hours once a week. Study 30 minutes every day. If you're training in martial arts, don't disappear for months and then go all out for 1 week. Keep showing up, even if it's just for drills. Progress compounds quietly, until one day it feels like you suddenly leveled up. But in truth, you've been upgrading the entire time. You don't need portals or magic gear to live like Sung Jin-Woo. You need a way to measure progress, a daily dungeon structure, a well-designed skill tree, smart resource management, adaptability, higher challenges, detailed records, and relentless consistency. Build that system, and your real life will start feeling like the ultimate leveling game. One where you always emerge stronger than before.